Hey, so it's been a while since I did a video. Recently I got some questions from somebody online by the name of Arttiparti who wanted me to answer some questions about AmeriCorps NCCC. And seeing as though I haven't made a video in like almost 2 months probably, I figured I would just go through and make a video answering her questions. So the first one was, could you make a quick video or list the things that you wish you would have brought with you, and are the things you would have left at home? Overpacking is something I've been hearing about often, and yes, overpacking is an issue. I personally, if you watch my video, link somewhere in here, of all the stuff I packed in AmeriCorps, I took half of that home over Christmas break. And by the time I left again, back in when the program ended in July, my bag was packed full again, just from the stuff I bought, the stuff I collected. A lot of the organizations you're going to be working with will give you a lot of like clothing items and t-shirts or like knickknacks. Somebody gave me a hat, which is kind of right there, you can see it. One of the organizations I worked with, pretty much every single one I worked with gave me some kind of shirt. So yeah, definitely pack light. As far as something that I wish I had brought in with me, I mean, there's kind of a lot of things, but I feel like it's hit and miss, because I mean, I'm a big board gamer, so I kind of wish I bought more board games, but at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't have necessarily had time to play them. Also, something that I really liked that I did take with me was leggings. Like, we were up north in Washington, Oregon, and it got pretty cold sometimes, so I mean, just having like thermal leggings to wear underneath the rest of your clothes just is a lifesaver. So I definitely recommend taking those. I don't know. There's like so much stuff, but I feel like you collect a lot while you're in the program, so I mean, definitely pack light. Pack everything you think you need to take and get rid of at least half, I would recommend. If you're gonna be like me, you'll probably wear your uniform most of the time anyway, and if you're like me, you're not even gonna care after you get halfway through the program. You're gonna be like, I'm in my uniform, might as well leave it on, and then wear it the next day too. But yeah, I don't think there's anything you really can't get. There's a give and take room on campus that has a lot of stuff. If you're left at home, like there's like sheets and like sometimes towels and stuff like that you can get and wash, so that way you don't actually have to pack them and take them with you, and then when the program's over you can just put them back in the give and take room for the people who come in after you. So I mean, that's something to think about when you're actually packing for the program. The second question this viewer had is, it seems like towards the half of your program you do a lot more things on your own. Is this because of team issues, different interests from your teammates, or you just wanted to be alone? Well, the way my AmeriCorps experience went was my first 2 rounds we were in a lot more remote locations. The first 2 were on Orcos Island, so I mean, we were on an island, there wasn't that much to do. The second round was split. The first half was in Walton, Oregon, and the second half of round 2 was in Eugene. So I mean, Eugene kind of had a little bit more of a city atmosphere, but I mean, I feel like I experienced a lot of that with the team because we lived far enough out of town that we had to drive in, and it wasn't that easy to get like public transit or stuff, and I mean, I just didn't have the funds to really just be like Uber. But I mean, by the time round 3 and 4 rolled around, we were in more urban areas. For round 3 we were in East Palo Alto, which is basically in the Bay Area of California. So I mean, there was public transport running all hours of the night that you could pretty much get anywhere in the Bay. So I mean, that's a lot of the reason I went by myself, was because I mean, it was just accessible to. A lot of my team did have different interests too. I mean, there was things like I wanted to do, like I wanted to go to Rocky Horror Picture Show, and the team was like, yeah, we'll go, but when it came down to it, they really didn't want to go. They wanted to go and do a hike and stuff. And I gotta say, my team was a lot more of like an outdoorsy overall, compared to me, and I really like being a little bit more like city, like let's go to like the bar, or let's go and like play board games at this like board game place. I don't know. I just wasn't about like, let's go for a hike, and that's what most of my team like to do. So I mean, I feel like round 1 and 2 I actually kind of stayed more in a lot, and then round 3 and 4 I ventured out more because I was more in an environment that I clicked with. So I don't think it's necessarily team issues, because I mean, the team dynamic, there's a lot of people on the team that you'll click with, and there's a lot of different people who like will like this and you like this. Like there was a girl on my team who we watched all the shows as they came out together. We watched American Horror Story, we watched Younger, and like, I mean, that was great. That was something me and her just did together like every day of the, like 3 times a week when the TV shows you watch came out. So I think there'd definitely be somebody on your team you get along with that will undo the things you want to do. Question number 3 was, because of all the hard labor, do you think you lost weight or became more fit throughout the program? Well, I think it goes back down to the rounds. Each round is very different. Round 1 and 2 were were a lot of manual labor, so they were very intense on the body. I think round 1 I lost a lot of weight, but as all the rounds basically got progressively easier, and our diet got to be a little bit better. I think I actually kind of gained the weight back. Round 1 we were on the island, and Orcas Island had really expensive groceries, so our diet wasn't quite what it was the other rounds. So I think that mixed with the fact that we were doing a lot of labor in the woods, cutting down a lot of trees, I think that just caused me to lose a lot of weight the first round. But then as soon as I transitioned into round 2 and got a better diet, and then round 3 where I had the better diet plus we were had less strenuous work, I kind of gained the weight back. So I mean, if you're looking to lose the weight, it's also going to depend on your team, because my team was actually overall, they like to eat very healthy. We had one vegetarian, one flexitarian at the beginning of the year, and then towards the end of the year basically everybody but me and one other girl were vegetarian. So it was kind of like, it's depending on your team too and what their diet is. I know a lot of teams too, they would like get soda and stuff with their team budget, and I mean that's not something my team would do. But then at the same time, the team would try and compensate. Like I'd get like Pop-Tarts and like sugary cereal and stuff. So I mean, it just depends on what your rounds are, and I mean how your team eats. And question number 4 is, I'm going to be 23 and a recent college grad when I start. So I was wondering if you were able to tell a difference in maturity between ages of the Corps members. I think it's really dependent on the teams, because I mean age at the end of the day is just a number. We like to call the 2 like younger people who were just out of high school on our team the babies. And honestly, one of the girls who we called one of the babies was more mature than most of the people on the team. Like honestly, she was more mature than me. She was a lot more level-headed, had a better attitude all the time, whereas I had a little bit more drama going around me and a little bit more attitude and stuff at times than she ever did. So I think it's really just dependent on your team. You're definitely gonna have a mix of people. You're gonna have people who are fresh out of high school. You're gonna have people who are like you, out of college, people who are halfway through college like I was. It's just gonna depend. I don't think age is really gonna necessarily determine the maturity, because we had a couple of people on our team who were my age when I first started, and they were the worst ones. So it just depends. It honestly just depends. It's the dynamic of your team. That's what I have to say. So I think I answered all those questions. If you have any more, just let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. Maybe not always in a video format, but I wanted to do this one because I never really did like a Q&A, and I thought this would be nice. And since you kind of requested a quick video, I've decided quick video.